And welcome once more to my Irie Kitchen, where as always big things are happening. Today I'm going to be preparing for you my twist, because I always like to throw that out there, my twist on a Jamaican favorite, which is Ackee and Saltfish. Today I'm not going to do it with fried dumpling, even though I kind of like it with fried dumpling. I just feel like it's a little later on in the day, so it's not so much as a breakfast time, and I think of fried dumpling as breakfast time, so more like a brunch time thing. So we're gonna do the Ackee and Saltfish with boiled dumpling, green bananas, and then just because I like to have something a little extra on the side, I'm gonna just do some sauteed zucchini and squash to put on the side. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down the list for you. I'll start with the saltfish. Now I prefer what they call, I don't know if it's bacala, however you pronounce it, the fish with the bone in it. However, my family, I don't think they prefer that so much, so a lot of times I go with the boneless cod. But when I went to the Caribbean grocery store, they didn't have that either. So I had to wind up settling with the boneless salted pollock. And it's a Goya brand. And so, just as good. Doesn't matter, whichever one you prefer. I guess if you don't like to eat fish bones or deal with the bones, then you probably want to stay away from the first one I mentioned anyway. But to me, it just kind of makes it taste a little sweeter. I got some flour that I'm going to use to make my dumplings. 2 cans of Ackee. And it's funny that I have 2 cans of Ackee, y'all, because I promise you I have Ackee in my freezer from when I went to Jamaica and I bought Ackee and I brought it up. And then also my father sent me some Ackee, but I just don't want to let go of the last bit of my fresh Ackee yet. So I'm holding on to it, so I got some canned Ackee. And now it's serious. I'm laughing about that. Look, if y'all don't believe me, look at my messy freezer. That's my Ackee. I won't get rid of it. And look, hell and powder house with anybody who touch it. But anyway, then I have some spices, and I'll tell you what those are a little later on. I have a carrot that I just kind of sliced up, and I have it sitting in some water. Probably had it sitting a little too long because it's starting to turn brown. A little bit of tomato sauce. I have some potatoes that I'm going to boil with the banana and the dumpling. And the potatoes have already been washed. Of course, peppers, onions, tomato to go in the Ackee. The zucchini and the squash has already been washed. The green bananas have already been washed. So I'm just going to show you how to put it together. On the stove, I have water boiling. I'm going to push this stuff over a little bit and let you see how we do the saltfish. And basically what I'm going to do with the saltfish is simple. I'm going to rinse off the extra salt off of it first. Then I'm going to put it in a pot with some water to boil it. The heat is going to cause the saltfish to sweat. It's going to pull the salt back out of it. Because of course, yes, it's called Ackee and Saltfish, but you don't want that much salt. So I usually do it about 3 times. Toss the water, put it back in the pot with some fresh water, boil it, and just do that. And 3 times is usually pretty good. So I'm going to rinse the saltfish off, put it on the stove to start boiling. I have another pot up there boiling with water that I'm going to put the food in, which the food refers to the dumpling, the banana, and the potato. So give me a moment and I'll get that set up. Yeah, so it's really kind of simple. It's not a big deal. I'm going to deal with it right out of the bag. It's got a lot of salt on it. I'm just going to rinse the salt off and put it in my pot of water. That's it. Then I'm going to put the pot of water on the stove and boil it. That's it. Well, just make sure that you rinse off the saltfish real good, because you don't want your first batch of saltfish water to be really salty. So just take the time to rinse off the fish. That's all. Ooh, this water cold. And last little piece. And that's it. I'm going to put it on the stove. Let it boil. Once it comes to a boil, I'm going to pour this water off. Put fresh water on it again. Let it come to a boil again. I'll taste a little piece of it to see if it's still too salty for me. If it's not, because this is pollock and it might be a little different from the cod. So if it is too salty, then I'll boil it again. If not, then I'll leave it at that. And I'll let you know if I do. You know, but usually 2 to 3 times is pretty good as far as boiling it goes. Okay? Alright, let me get this over to the stove. Okay, so making sure I wash my hands pretty good. You can see I don't have fingernails. I guess that's part of the profession. I don't keep long fingernails, but when you're making dumpling, you better make sure your hands are nice and clean. In this container, I have 4 cups of flour and just about 2 pinches of salt. And basically, all you're going to do is make a dough. If you've ever made a pie dough or whatever it may be, you're just making a dough. So it's all sifted together. I don't have an exact amount of measurement of water. I'll just say you can always add a little more. It's very hard to take away. So put a little dab, work it in. This little backup stash of flour is for just in case I put too much, because I have done it before. Trust me, I'm human. It happens. I'm not perfect. So I'm just going to create a little well in the center there. I'm going to throw a little bit of water in there. And I'm just going to go like that. And basically, you're just trying to get the flour to clump together. Plus, you could probably even do it in your mixer. I've never tried that, but I guess if you have like a pastry paddle, a bread paddle or whatever, you can try it in your mixer. It's just as simple to do it this way, though. So I added a little bit more. Okay, I know I need more water, but you see that it's starting to stick together. And that's what you want. Okay. And now the good part about that dry flour is once you finish doing this, it actually works wonders in getting the wet flour off your hand. So now, I'm not going to claim to be the neatest dumpling roller there is in the world. When my mother rolls a dumpling, I don't know what she does. She got the magic touch. But by the time I finish, you get it. You get what I'm doing. But it's just 1, 2, 3, and she's got it. She's also the only person I know that covers the pot when she fry dumpling. I don't cover the pot. Oh, that's that saltfish boiling. Let me cut it off. Woo! That can happen. Yeah, I'll tend to that in a second. That's boiling over there. Woo! Maybe I should have used a bigger bowl, huh? Instead of trying to be cute with this little bowl. Just twist and punch. Twist and punch. Twist and punch. Twist and punch. A little dab more water. And I put that extra water just because I'm trying to get all the flour off the bottom. That's all I'm trying to do. And now I'll take this and just kind of go over my hand. See, that's why your hand need to be clean, because you're playing in all this flour that people gonna eat. And now, just so you don't make the same mistake I made, use a proper size bowl. Because this is really a measuring cup, not a bowl for mixing. And Lord knows I got many bowls, so why I use this is beyond me. Can't even put both hands in there. Okay, well, my dough is made. There it goes. It's done. It's done. Now I'm going to wash my hand off and go tend to the angry saltfish that's boiling off over on my stove. I made a mess. But hey, you know what? It happens. This is life. Things like that happen. Okay. Fill it back up with some water. This will be the second boil. And then after it boils this time, I'm going to try it and see if it's too salty or if it's good to go. So I'm going to put this back on the stove. Clean up my mess. And then we'll move on to the next step. So I got these bananas. Now I got these from the grocery store, green like that. You can go in the store. Sometimes if you don't see it up in the front, you can ask them. And they'll, you know, a lot of times they'll have it in the back sitting, waiting to get ripe. Sometimes people look at me strange because I ask for green bananas. But I love green bananas. They're good for you. I would say that, make sure that boil over don't happen again. I would say great substitute for potatoes if you're trying to get rid of potatoes. You get all the nutrients and the benefits of a banana. And then you can also use it to sub in a meal when you're doing your potatoes. Now, why is this thing? Alright, there we go. There we go. So, while this is steaming and the pot bubble, you cannot just put the bananas in a pot like that. Peel it. If you do, if you take the skin off, the banana is going to turn black. I don't know the science behind it. I don't know why. I just know I've tried it both ways, and it's true. If you peel the banana and you throw it in the pot, it's going to turn black. I like to put a little bit of this is garlic salt in there, just to give a little bit of additional flavor to the water that it's going to be boiled in. So I basically just cut the tip off the banana on both ends. I'm going to slice down the back of the banana because I want it to be easily peeled once it's finished cooking, because it's not ripe, and so the skin don't come off that easy. And so I'm going to slice it in half just for the smaller portions, but trust me, once it's cooked, the skin will come right off. So, but you have to put the skin in there with it. You might not need to put all of the skin. Maybe just a little piece will do the job. I haven't really tried that yet, so I can't say for sure. I just do it all. I'm using 4 bananas. Maybe my husband bought a bunch for me, but maybe I'll use that bunch to make some porridge one day before they get ripe. So that's the last banana, and I'm gonna throw the potatoes in the water also, skin on. Like I said, I already washed them. Put it here in the water. Okay, I'm gonna move this over to the other side. I found this thing here at the store, and I really like it. I use it whenever I'm washing produce or vegetables or whatever it is. It's supposed to get rid of all the waxes and the pesticides and the chemicals, and I'm hoping that it does what it says. I get it from Trader Joe's. It says Trader Joe's next to godliness, so hopefully it does what it says. I can vouch for the fact that it removes the wax when I use it on the vegetables and stuff, because you know they wax down the apples and stuff to make them look shiny and whatnot. So I'm going to wash my hand, and then we're going to tend to the dumpling, because the dumpling going in the same pot with the bananas and the potato. I don't have to dry my hand because I'm going to roll dumplings. So, back over here. You see I got the flour here. And so basically, what I'm going to do is this. See? It's a stretchy dough. Something to play with. But whatever size you want to make your dumplings is up to you. I'm getting about yay much. Oh! Slip out my hand. And just form a ball in your hand. And then I like to just press it down. May not be the best looking dumpling in the world. Like I said, my mother makes the prettiest dumplings in the world. One day I'll get the family secret. Mine is not as pretty, but trust me, they're edible and they're delicious. And they may not be as even either. She has a way of making hers all one size. I don't know what she got. Some kind of profound cookie cutter system that works in her head. Which, by the way, one of these days soon, I'm going to get my mother to do a video with me, because that woman makes the best curry goat. So one day, I'm going to have her to make curry goat with me. And then one day when I head down to Florida, I'm going to get my father to come in the kitchen and cook with me. He's the one I learned how to make my jerk seasoning from. And he's a great cook. So is my mother. So I'm kind of look, I'm just, as we talk, all I'm doing is just ripping pieces off, rolling it into a ball, flattening it out with my hand, and throwing it in the pot. That's it. But I'm fortunate enough to come from a family on both sides of my family, mother and father, though my parents separated when I was young. I don't even remember them together, to be honest. I think I was about 3 months old. But I'm fortunate enough to come from a family on both sides who are excellent cooks. Restaurateurs, chefs, people who are just great cooks in their own right. My auntie Gillette, she makes me call her my beautiful aunt. My beautiful auntie Gillette. Sweet potato corn, you can't bake like her. So, though I left the islands a long time ago, I've had the opportunity all my life to be around people who just love cooking. And it's not just Caribbean food, you know, all kinds of food. Of course, I cook Caribbean food because it's a part of me. But then I cook other foods because, well, for one, it's my job. Went to school for it. You know, I'm just passionate about food. And my plans is in the future to have actually my own food line. Because I do make my own sauces, my own seasonings, my own spices. So that's coming in the future. But until then, it's going to be even more not recently, but it's going to come quicker than my own food line. Oh, by the way, I make this awesome gin and rum barbecue sauce. Gin and rum, not Jim and rum. Delicious. But we're going to have the website available. So a lot of these things that you see me cooking, like the Ackee and Saltfish, you'll be able to go online, get some ackee, callaloo, hot sauce, spices, whatever you want to call, whatever you need. As I do the recipes, I'm gonna let you know where you can go get the stuff, because that's one of the concerns that I've gotten from some of you, that I cook stuff but in your neck of the wood you can't find it. And so I'm working on the website where you'll be able to go up there and purchase those things for yourself. The last dumpling, look at that, we talked the dumpling away. Okay, so basically all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let the dumpling kind of just a minute or so, kind of cook a little bit, so that the outer side of it will be solid. Then I'll gently stir it, because the dough is still raw and malleable. I don't want to mess up the shape of the dumpling. They're still not as perfect as my mother, so I don't want to make them any worse. So I'm gonna mix it up a little bit, cut the fire down on low, and just let it simmer and cook. This saltfish, I'm going to drain it. I think it should be good by now, but I'm going to taste it to see if it's all the salt is boiled out of it, and then we'll go from there. So let me clean up my mess. So, got the dumpling and the banana and the potatoes boiling. You'll notice that there's... Okay, that can happen. Well, you'll notice that there's some discoloration around the end, around the corners. Trust and believe me when I say that is not dirt. That's just the heat, the oxygen, the whatever it is, the natural fibers from the food, all cooked up together in a pot. You know how it does even when you boil potatoes or whatever it is. Trust me. But we're just going to let these nice and keep on simmering. Trying to get our potatoes to be done. I'm not going to cover it all the way because we'll get a boil over. Much like the one I got earlier. So now I have to wash my knife that just fell. Let's cut the tips off. Probably not going to need all of these zucchini because I'm just trying to have some on the side. So I'm probably just going to I'm going to leave this for future use. I'm just going to do 2 and 2. What I'm going to do is cut them in half moons. So you just turn the zucchini and cut. Turn the zucchini and cut. Turn the zucchini and cut. Turn, cut. Turn, cut. Turn, cut. Turn, cut. And that's it. I'll bring it over here to this bowl. Okay. And the same thing. Turn, cut. Turn, cut. Turn, cut. I guess in culinary term, this would be called cutting it on a bias. But just for the fun of things, we're just going to call it half moons, and we turning and we cutting. Do the same thing with the zucchini that you did with the squash. Thinking in my head, did I say zucchini before? If I did, you know what I meant. I meant squash. That was squash. This is zucchini. Last one. Should I do all of them, Charles? I don't know. I guess if I do them all, we'll have them. Do them all? Okay. So I'll do all of them. Because the mister said to do them all. And you know what? Be a great snack. Leftovers, because the way I'm going to cook them is just going to lightly just kind of saute them up so that they'll still hold their crunch. They'll still be kind of raw tasting. And I love zucchini and squash. I will go in the refrigerator and take it out and just eat it. Just the way it is. So that worked for me. And so what I have here, what I have here is a container with half a teaspoon of black pepper, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, paprika, basically a half a teaspoon of everything. So garlic powder, paprika, black pepper, some parsley flakes, and then I have a little bit of Cajun seasoning blend that I put a half a teaspoon in of too. And so I'm just going to sprinkle it over this. All. And then a little bit of oil. And I'm going to mix it in and let it just kind of sit. So once again, one of them situations where I probably should have used a bigger bowl, but it's okay. Hey, probably would have fit if I didn't do them all. Mister made me do them all. I'm messing. Nah, I should have known better. Got a bigger bowl. But it's okay. They're mixed. They're mixed. Okay. I'm just going to let them sit. I'm not doing much with them other than throwing them in a pan and just kind of lightly tossing them around in a hot pan. So, wash my hands, clean up, and then we'll go on to the next step. I did check the saltfish. The saltfish is perfect at boiling it twice. And I'm suspecting that's because it's pollock, and pollock is a softer fish. You probably don't hold on to the salt as much. So we're gonna wash my hands so I can roll this cutting board out the way. Kind of like this cutting board. It's neat. It covers over the whole sink. Just wanted to get that off my hand. We'll get this out the way and clean up, and I'm gonna show you how we do the ackee and saltfish while the food is boiling still. Dumplings and bananas really don't take that long to cook, but I did throw the whole potatoes in there. We want to make sure that those are nice and tender, nice and soft all the way through. So let me clean up and we'll get on to the next step. Okay, so I got my other cast iron pot here on the stove, nice and hot, and we're just gonna cover it up, cover the bottom with oil. Midway there. I think I might have the pot a little too hot. It's been sitting there for a while, but either way, don't matter. Now I realized that there's two ingredients that I didn't have listed for y'all, that I didn't have pulled out. This one kind of unintentional. I've found the neatest trick, and you might already do this yourself, but thyme, when I buy thyme, wash it, dry it, and then put it in the freezer. Because when you put it in the freezer, it still maintains its quality. And then when I cook, like now, I just turn it upside down. The leaves are frozen. Knock it and the leaves fall right off. I don't have to try to peel it off the thing. So the thyme and the country pepper, the habanero pepper, I didn't have. So this is 2 medium onions, basically sliced up, julienne. And I'm going to go ahead and add that to the oil. I have a carrot that I sliced up real thin. You don't have to add the carrot if you don't want to. It's up to you. Just for a little extra something. Yeah, step back from this pot. It's a beast. Like I said, I think I kind of had it a little too hot anyway. While it's calming down, let me cut it down midway. So you want to have it on medium heat. Medium heat, that's good. So the thyme, like I told you, it's frozen. I just pulled it out the freezer. So basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the bag upside down and just shake it. Look at that. The leaves come right off. I got a stalk in there, but that's okay. For the most part, the leaves was what I wanted. So I'm saying about a teaspoon's worth, and I'm going to go ahead and hurry up and stick it back in the freezer. So I'm ruining my time. Okay. Smells good. Okay, the tomatoes and the bell peppers. So I'm going to add the tomatoes last. Give the onions a little bit of time to cook, to sweat, basically. But I'm going to go ahead and add the bell peppers. And once again, whether you add bell peppers is optional. And what color bell peppers you want to add is optional too. Alright. The country pepper, habanero pepper. Okay, we like it a little bit more on the spicy side. You might not. So that's up to you. My country pepper is also frozen. So, and I keep it that way until I'm ready to use it. So I'm just going to cut it in 3. That way I'll get the spices out of it. My hands didn't touch the inside. And we can see it to, let me put it in this, to kind of toss it, pick it out if we need to. Charles might just eat it the way it is. I don't choose to eat it the way it is. I rather the flavor in the food. Let me throw that right in there. Allow it to sweat. Okay. So I'm going to let it sit there for a little bit and get the onions to be a little bit more on the tender side. The saltfish, all I'm going to do is basically pick it up with my hand and just flake it off in there. We'll finish off the saltfish and add the spices and stuff, and then add the ackee, and by then hopefully the food will be done. And I'll show you how to saute up the zucchini and squash. So let me once again go clean up while that's happening. Basically all I'm doing is rinsing these dishes off and put it in the dishwasher, so by the time I finish this recording, I don't have 1,000,001 dishes. Because you know, if I was cooking without a recording, I wouldn't have all these dishes. So we don't want to be stuck all night, late at night. And plus my show is coming on tonight, Walking Dead. I need to hurry up. This is my show. I can't miss it. So let me clean up and put these in the dishwasher and get prepared. That's nice and caramelized there for me a little bit. So now this is basically 2 small Roma tomatoes diced up. Now the food's been boiling for a while, and I say you just need to boil it for about maybe 20-25 minutes, and everything should be nice and good for you. So basically now what I'm going to do is this. The saltfish, like I said, is going to take it and I'm going to flick it into the pot. That's about it. You can use the spoon and kind of break it up a little bit. The Ackee's in the can and it's already cooked. So it's not like we're trying to cook the Ackee. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to cook it. They're really not trying to cook the saltfish either, because we boiled the living daylights out of it. So I'm not trying to cook it either. But we do want them flavors all married together, so I'm going to break them up too small either, because we don't want mushy pieces of saltfish. So my nose is kind of feeling it a little bit because that country pepper is doing its thing. Like I said, it's totally optional to you. You do not have to put that habanero pepper in it. Or you could just put a little piece. You know, you don't have to do. You could take the seeds out. If you take the seeds out, then that will definitely dramatically decrease the spiciness. So it's kind of up to you. We like it spicy around here. I'm going to put a little drizzle more of oil in it. And then I'm going to start adding my spices. Now, this is one of those optional things. Add tomato sauce. I like to add a little tomato sauce for the flavor. There's already tomatoes in there, so you don't have to. This is one of those little, let me give you a little quick childhood story thing. When I was younger, my mother cooked ackee and saltfish. I couldn't stand ackee and saltfish when I was younger. Funny because I love it now. But I thought in my mind that if I slather it with ketchup, she'd feel bad and she would make me eat it. I tell you, I dumped about a whole bottle of ketchup on my ackee and saltfish, and she had cooked it with white rice. Didn't want it. I wanted KFC. That's when KFC was just the happening thing in Jamaica. And so, long story short, my behind sit at that table until it turned dark outside, and I couldn't go to bed till I finished my ackee and saltfish with the ketchup in it. Now, when I cook ackee and saltfish, I don't do it like I did when I was a little girl, but I do like to put a little dab in there because I found out that I actually kind of like the taste. So I just put a little bit, not the big bottle that I did, but that's just one of my down memory lane stories for you. But this is actually 3 tablespoons worth. Oh, and also the saltfish was a 1 pound pack of saltfish. Here I have a teaspoon of black pepper. I do a teaspoon because I love black pepper. And I understand, I've gotten the comments, black pepper can be carcinogenic and all of this type of stuff, whatever. My only thing that I can say is you have to do what you feel is best for you. I really like black pepper flavoring. So I have a teaspoon of black pepper and I have a teaspoon of ground allspice or pimento. And I'm going to put that in there. And truth be told, looking at it, I might actually put a little bit more black pepper. I just kind of like the taste of black pepper. Over here, because we did boil the salt out of it, but it is a salted fish, so you don't want to go overboard. So, but because I boiled the salt out of it, you can use regular seasoned salt if you want to, or just a little sprinkle of salt. I kind of like the taste of the Cajun seasoning in the ackee and saltfish. That's why I said my way, because I like to do things my way. So I have here a half a teaspoon of the Cajun seasoning, a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of onion powder, and a half a teaspoon of paprika. And I'm going to dump that in there. Also, that smells so good, so good, so good. Yummy. Yum, yum, yum. Little trick. I wish I probably show you how to do it a little later on in the year. But if you want to make callaloo and saltfish, exact same thing. Just add callaloo instead of ackee. And I have some shortcuts that I have coming your way to show you how to cook some of the famous Caribbean dishes. Woo! Excuse me. Habanero pepper and black pepper. Some of those famous Caribbean dishes. Let's sneeze over here. Habanero pepper and black pepper gets me every time, but I'm going to show you how to make some of those famous Caribbean dishes using some shortcuts. And we'll work those out. But I do have 2 19-ounce can of ackee. And drain them already. Just basically open them and drain them. So I'm going to dump the whole can into the saltfish mixture. That's it. And basically, you're going to mix it up. You're going to taste it. You're going to make sure the salt content is where you want it to be. And you just kind of, let the ackee heat up. And guess what? Ackee done. So, I'm going to let this simmer a little bit. Once again, clean up my mess. I'm sure the food is done by now. The same pot that I used to boil the saltfish in, I'm just going to pour a little bit of oil in there. And we're going to saute the zucchini and the squash in it. I dumped it out a couple of times when I was washing the saltfish. It might have a little residue of salt in there, but that's okay. That's fine with me. Add a little flavor to the zucchini and the squash. So let me get this stuff out the way, and then we'll come back. Trust me, I taste this ackee. I don't need to add nothing. Nothing. Like I said, though, you have the option to not put the country pepper in there if you want to, because trust me, it's there. I got the stove already hot, so this pan already hot. So I'm going to go ahead and dump the zucchini and squash in. I'm just going to let it kind of rotate it. Don't know what I just said. Rotate it? What does that mean? I don't know. Anyway, all I'm trying to do is basically get them hot. I'm not going to overcook them. Let me go ahead and cut this ackee off that way. That ackee, like my mother say, it tastes sweetie. It's really good. Really, really good. So I cut the fire off on the ackee. So basically, it's just letting the zucchini and the squash basically just heat up. If you want to, you can add a little bit of red onions to it to kind of bring it up a little bit, but I don't see the need for that. It's perfectly fine the way it is. I just wanted something else on the side other than the banana and the dumpling and the potato. So let it kind of do its thing a little bit. I'm gonna cover it up just for about a good maybe 3 minutes. Cover it up just so the heat can kind of penetrate through all of it, and then we'll get ready to plate because it will be done. All right, done. I guess this wouldn't be what you would call a typical Jamaican Sunday dinner, because my mother, if there's not rice and peas and cabbage and some form of brown stew something or steam something or oxtail or curry, it's not Sunday dinner to her. But just me and Charles, so we can eat, put the rest up for another day, or whatever it may be. So now let's start off. Now I can't go through and taste it all for you, but this is what the dumplings come out looking like. I think I'm gonna make Charles' plate. One day I need to be the one to hold the camera so you can see him taste. Okay, now look at the banana. See what I was telling you? Now that it's boiled, it's hot. I'm pretending it's not. You probably see the steam rising. See? Peels right off. Now you see how the water looked brown from boiling the banana? Can you imagine how black that water would be if we didn't leave these skins in there? Now some people eat the skin, and truth be told, I will, but only if it's in fish tea. Other than that, I toss the skin. So, but that's just me. You don't have to do that. How many dumplings you want, Charles? 2? Okay. Okay, so I'll put him 2 dumplings. potatoes. Let's make sure. Get a knife here. And slice these potatoes in half. Nice and tender, nice and soft. Look at that. I love golden potatoes. I love golden potatoes. They are awesome. Okay. I'm rotating back and forth between pots, but that's okay. We're not cross-contaminating for the public. we're eating this ourselves, so. Alright. Enough zucchini and squash for you, babe? Okay. And then his favorite part, the ackee. That's enough ackee for you, babe? Alright. Alright. So, look at that. That's the garlic powder that I sprinkled in there. Don't worry about that. Trust me. That is good eating. That beautiful. That delicious. That I want to jump into. So let me get ready to do like I do. Taste a little piece for you. And then I'm going to let you go so me and my husband can chow down. Okay? Get a fork and get ready to taste. Okay, so I won't have to be selfish and keep taking chunks out of his plate. Through the miracle of camera, I made myself a plate, so I won't mess with his. I'm kind of like a big kid when it comes to dumpling and banana and stuff. I like to cut mine up, like I did for my daughter. But if you've never had a boiled dumpling, then that's what it should look like on the inside. It's pretty much just a ball of dough. I mean, and what about a ball of dough is not good? But, like I said, I'm a kid. I cut my food up. So, I cut my banana up. Nah, this is not a requirement at all. Because, as you see, his is left that way. But that's just how I like to do mine. Okay. So, let's taste it. Let's taste it. Taste it with some banana. Okay, that's hot. Like pancetta blowo. That's one of my favorite Jamaican places to watch. There's plenty of them. But if you get a chance, look up big ponds. And I like pasta too. But, woo, this is so good. Y'all, I lost my words. This is so good. I'm going to go get ready to eat. So, what I want you to do is check the video out. Try the recipe out. Pretty soon, if you can't get the ackee in your neck of the woods, you'll be able to get it from my website. And I'll let you know when that is up and running, which will be very soon. But for now, thank you for stopping by my Irie Kitchen. Once again, I hope you enjoy what I prepared for you. Share it with your loved ones. Have a good time in the kitchen. Kitchen is supposed to be fun. Have a good time in the kitchen. I don't want to worry about all this proper prim and right way to do things. Have a good time. Enjoy your food. If you see I did something that you feel that might work a little better for your family, then do it that way. It's your kitchen. Make it as Irie as you want it to be. Check out my Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, the website, whatever it is. Just check. Everything is Irie Kitchen. Renil's Irie Kitchen. So just look for me, follow me, and I thank you for your support, and I'll continue to bring you good videos. All right? Have a great night.